So, welcome to the Soft Love Witch channel. I was in the shower and I was like, oh yeah, I must record a video for that. And then I got out of the shower and I was like, well, I don't have my makeup on, so I can't possibly record a video, especially because I haven't even wiped off the excess, right? Which looks ridiculous and I love it. And I was like, oh my God, this is actually kind of a funny look. Who gives a shit, right? Welcome to my world. So I thought that I'll just film the video and I can look like I'm in a horror movie and you can deal with it and love it like I do, right? So what I wanted to actually talk about is, if you can get past my gorgeous appearance, is there is a concept, I'm all about the concepts, that I like to think of or label as excessive praise. So when I first started Law of Assumption, there's a very significant jump into Law of Assumption. Actually, that's a lie. It was well before this, right? Sometimes I channel a voice, right? It's just, that's all part of me. It's not outside of me, whatever. And once that voice was very, very clear to me, and it said to me, tell yourself everything you want to hear. I'll repeat that. Tell yourself everything that you want to hear. And I took that on board. And that night, as I was falling asleep, I told myself everything that I wanted to hear in the positive. I just, whether I believed it or not, did not matter. It doesn't matter. I just told myself, my gosh, you're so beautiful. You're so lovely. You're such a sweetheart. You're doing so well. You know what, darling? You did such a good job today at whatever it was. I don't know. It was a few years ago now. And so I really believe in excessive praise, and excessive isn't even the right word, because there is no such thing as enough praise and positive self-talk. No such thing. Like, you could do it every single second of every single day. You could stay awake for 24 hours for the rest of your life and say it every single second, positive self-affirming talk, and it would still not be enough. And what I mean by enough is there's no such thing as too much, right? When it comes to this, it can feel so, right? Most of us, I'm going to make the assumption that most of us have been taught to be humble, not be arrogant, be more realistic, right? Okay, cool, awesome. It's a new world. Let's not do that anymore. Doesn't really work for the majority of us, you know. Well, it can, but we're really keen to try a new way. And I really believe that you have to be your number one fan. And when I say number one fan, I really, really mean it. Like, obsessively fangirl or fanboy or fan non-binary over yourself, you, like I would to Beyonce, right? Like, to me, the Beyonce is the bee's knees. So why not I think of myself as the bee's knees and talk to myself that way? So, excessive praise all the time, constantly in my head. And you can choose what you prefer. I like to switch between first person, which is I am, and second person, you are. It doesn't make a difference, right? I mean, people have discussed and posited theories that either you are helps the self-conscious more, or I am, whatever. It's whatever you believe, right? And I believe they both fucking work and they both are helpful. So I just switch whatever's, you know, coming to me. And it doesn't just have to be when you're falling asleep. That's a good time, because the subconscious mind is very susceptible to take on things. But don't limit it to that 15 minutes of your day. Let's make it a thing that you're doing all the time. And I have darling little nieces, the loves of my life, and I always praise them. Why wouldn't I? They're fabulous, right? It's so important to take how I treat them and place it on myself. Why the fuck wouldn't I, right? Excuse me. This is not one of my burlesque shows. So yeah, like, you know what? Instead of using the word excessive praise, I really should change that to an abundance of praise. But I'm not going to, right? But that's what I mean. And so that might look like walking around the house going, my gosh, I love the way you keep this house. You really keep this house lovely. It's so wonderful that you've kept, my goodness, you're so mature, you are so lovely, you're so thoughtful, you are beautiful. The way you handled that meeting today was incredible. I'm sure that everyone in that meeting really, really valued what you had to say, because you really have lots of valuable things to say. Everything you say is valuable, right? You get the point. And that, I want it to run on and on and on and on and on. That's how I want your internal dialogue to be. Because I don't think I even have to point out the benefits of that, right? After a while, you're just going to believe it. You're going to believe these lovely things about yourself. And even if you don't, how freaking lovely is it to have nice things said to yourself, as opposed to, that was really shit, I did that so shit, oh my gosh, I really stuffed up on that. I look terrible in red. By the way, that's a lie. Red's my favorite color. We don't want that noise in our brain. Let's have some lovely noise, and let's make it excessive praise. So it may be a learning process for you. It's certainly a skill that can be developed and developed and developed. You may have been taught that it is not good to praise yourself, especially in abundance. So there's a little bit of unlearning that may need to occur. It may not. I'm very confident you can change it just like that. But what do we do here in the Soft Love Coven? We are soft and we are loving to ourselves with soft love. So if it takes us a little more than a snap of the fingers to build that skill, build that muscle, we are soft and gentle and kind on ourselves. You might even like to say to yourself, gee, I'm so good at implementing excessive praise. I'm so good at complimenting myself. I'm so good at loving myself through words of affirmation, right? How cool would that be? So whisper it to yourself, tell it to yourself in your head, say it out loud, say it to yourself in the mirror, record it on an app and have it play to yourself. That's affirmations, right? But let's not limit it to what you're trying to manifest. Let's just use every single praise and loving and kind word, compliments that we can find, that we think of, and keep throwing them at ourselves, because I promise you it will be a game changer. It will be a game changer. And let me tell you how it has completely changed up my life. First of all, I don't mind being with myself. Who would have thought? Anyway, and beyond that, my self-concept and my self-esteem and my self-assurance has grown and grown and grown and grown. But that's like a whole thing that I would really love to discuss with you bit by bit on my channel. But when I first started doing, okay, let me give you an example. A friend of mine once asked me a few years ago, tell me all the things that you think would make you a good partner, or that people would like about you to be in a romantic relationship. And I'm not fucking kidding you when I say that was one of the hardest things I had to come up with an answer. Like, I literally could not think of something. It sounds absurd to me now, but I just couldn't think. It wasn't that my brain froze. I literally could not think of one reason why someone would want to be with me. Eventually, I came up with one thing, and that one thing was, I'm pretty good at choosing TV shows. Which is true, but fuck me. That's how pathetic, I forgive myself, pathetic my self-concept and my self-esteem was at the time. Like, I actually feel a little bit sad for that version of me because, my God. And now, if someone asked me that question, I'd be like, okay, there's a lot. There's a lot. So that's what I was like before I started the excessive praise. Couldn't think of more than one reason why someone would want to be with me. Get real, I'm amazing. And afterwards, and you know, it's a process over a few years where I got to see myself in a different light, a positive light, which is awesome. Plus, it's actually one of my favorite activities, especially when falling asleep. It's just like really special to me. And look, why not throw in those little terms of endearment as well? Just like you would talk to a child that you're close to, or a pet, or someone you love, you know? Darling, you are so sweet, darling. You did so well today. Darling, I know you're tired. You deserve a rest, right? You always deserve rest because you're so special. Blah, blah, blah. I could go on, right? And in fact, I will record for you an audio of excessive praise. And in fact, that I already have a few rampages in the playlists. So take a look at them, play them as much as you possibly can. You deserve to hear nice things. You deserve to think of nice things of yourself. You really do. Honest. That's just fact to me. And I hope that I intend you see that as fact too very quickly. And you know, as law of assumption goes, it will not take long for the 3D reality to start mirroring back to you these things that you tell yourself. I promise, okay? So, as always, I like to give instruction, because if you're like me that loves a little bit of instruction or homework, overachiever, then you might like this too. I am offering you, again, I don't say the word challenge because that's ick. I like to say, here's an opportunity. I'd like to give you an opportunity starting now to continuously give yourself excessive praise for the next, you know what? I was going to say for the next 24 hours, but what I'm going to say is starting now for the rest of your life, you are going to give yourself excessive praise. And when I say excessive praise, I mean go in tits deep. Seriously, just throw yourself in. I don't care if you don't believe it or it sounds absurd or you've never thought of that. Like, I don't know, tell yourself you're an amazing peacock for all I care. I think it's brilliant. Just go crazy. Not crazy, just go in excess, go abundant, go over the top, go extreme with your self-praise. And definitely let me know in the comments whether you enjoy this, you will, and the differences that you're seeing in your 3D reality from this small, simple practice. So remember, we treat ourselves with softness, with love, and with soft love in the soft love witch coven. Gentleness, kindness, you know, all the rest. And now we use an abundance of praise in our positive self-talk. So thank you for being part of the Coven, and here's to some beautiful, loving, excessive praise. Bye.